Hey, I'm going to go over state machines and moving an AI in Unity using state machines. I'm not going to go over the AI section um, that much. I'm just going to go over just the state machine part of it. So essentially, I already have this scene set up. I used ProBuilder, which I've attached from Package Manager. Your ProBuilder window, which is a different topic. You can press new shape to make a shape. Make sure you click build once you've selected a shape. And I've made this little thing. This cone here at the end is my goal. That's where the player needs to, what's the AI needs to head to. And I'll show you my little AI script. This is just the normal way we've been using NavMesh 2 lessons ago as well. Where we, if you want to copy this code down, just pause now, write it down. This is everything, but essentially we just get the agent and we set destination. Which destination? The destination we get from this variable here. We haven't integrated this into the state machine yet. So what does the state machine do? We can run code based, these are the states. We can run code based on the different states. So crawl state, walk state, I have a die state and another state. Depending which state it's on, it's going to run a different function. Which functions are they? Another state. This is from this state here. The function another state. We're using coroutines. That's why there's an I enumerator here. We log every time we enter or exit the state, right? Enter the state. While we're still in this state here, state another. While we're still in this state, we write some code. Right here, we can write some code here, maybe AI code. This means wait 1 frame. Wait 1 frame. And you keep looping in here. It keeps going forever until we change states. If we do change states, if the state changes, if someone changes this variable here, if this variable changes, we exit another state. We run this code here called next state. I'll get to this in a second. Here's another example, crawl state. If we enter crawl state, I have a boolean here called change state. It's not really part of the code. I'm going to delete this, but it's just an example of we making a change inside our little function here. So if this change happens, change state, boolean, right? If that becomes true from false, then we change the state to walking. And then because the state has changed, we exit this loop. The state changes here, we exit this loop, wait for the next frame, and then we exit crawl because we exit the state here. State's changed, and then we run this function next state. Same with walk state, except if it's false, it goes from the walk state that we're in to the crawl state, right? And as you can see, if I go to die state, it doesn't have anything to do with that boolean here. This has a boolean, this has a boolean, this does not have the boolean. If we're in this state and I set this to true or false, if I change this, it's not going to do anything because we're in another state here. We're in another state, this state here. If we change the boolean in this one or this one, it does a different behavior depending on which state we're in. So if we're in crawl state, we change it to true, we go to walk state. If we're in walk state and we change it to false, we go to crawl state. So in other words, if we want to move the AI, we can have a state for patrolling, we can have a state for chasing, we can have a state for attacking, whatever you can think of, running. You have a state for each part of the AI, whatever you can think of. And then we would have code related to that state inside this while loop here. This is where we put in the code related to our state. It'll be inside here. This is an example code that I have in. And then if we want to change state, let's just say we're chasing the player. Let's just say we're patrolling, and then we see the player. The AI sees the player. We're patrolling, the AI sees the player. Then we change state to chase, the chase state. We'd be like dot chase from patrol. So we can change the states within this state, within this walk state, as an example, or we can change the state from outside of the state machine completely. We have a die state. If it dies, we don't go to the next state at all. Right, so how do these functions get called? Well, we have this function called next state. At start, we run next state as well. And we do something called reflection, which I am not going to get into. But if you want to Google it yourself, feel free. Here we create the name of the function that we need to head into. So state.toState. What state? It's this variable here. The name, the toString will give us a string based on the name of the enum, right? So if it's if jump is the state, it'd be like jump plus state. So the function, the method that we're calling would have to be called jump state for this to work. What's next? We do a reflection. So basically what this is doing, it gives us information about this method. It allows us to run that method, call that method based on just getting the name. And these are the flags that get set. I'm not going to get too much into it, but we're basically getting the method based on this type. And then we're using this information that we get about the method, invoking it. So we're running the method using this little code. If you don't understand this, and we're making it a coroutine, right? If you don't understand this, that's fine. I kind of don't expect you to, but it's an easier way to get state machines running. If you want to look up reflection, it's a pretty advanced topic, you can. But essentially, it does what I said it does. We get the method, we're using the method name, we get the actual method, and we can invoke it. We can run it. So, how's that work? We're in this state, we leave this state, we run next state, it gets the state that we're in, and then calls that, make a coroutine based on the method that the state that we're in. What does this code actually do? It doesn't do anything. All it does is print debugs.logs. It doesn't actually move our AI yet. If we want to move our AI, we'd have to move this code into our state machine. We haven't done that yet. But we'd get agent.setDestination, whatever destination we want to set it to. We'd call that in here. So as an example, actually I'm not going to do that. Or am I? I am going to do that. If I wanted public move AI, say we want to move this AI, right? Then we'd have to actually set do we have a start already? We do have a start. It's down here. Let's move this start up to here. Get the start, right? Get the move AI, and then we'd have a function inside move AI to actually move it. So let's move this into a move function. Public void move our code in here, call move and update, right? Or well, actually, we wouldn't be calling move and update. We'll be calling move in some state that we're in, right? So let's say we want to move it in make a new state called move state, right? And then we'd have to create a new enumerator called move state. Creating the state here. I want to get move AI dot move and call it in here. This happens every frame, so it's like an update. I just want to make sure that move AI is not null. So if move AI not equal null. I'm going to change the name of these variables. We should be using lowercase for variables and uppercase for function names. So I just rename that one. Right click rename to change it to lowercase. Move AI, if it's now debug.log error, let's give it a message. Move AI not attached to state machine. You can call the state machine AI, move AI, or AI state machine, something like that, if we want to rename it to that, if we're going to use it for that purpose. Another thing we can do to make sure that we have the move AI set, instead of doing this, we can have a require component, right, type of move AI. So we have to attach a move AI component to the same place that the state machine is attached to make sure then we can do this, right? Equals get component move AI, because they have to be attached to the same game object. I'll make this private. We'll leave this error code just in case. It'll probably work anyway because of this, but just in case, we'll leave it in. And every time we move to the move state, it'll make the AI move. Any other state, it won't make it move. Let me rename this as well. From another to move. And from another to move. Just so we have the labels printing out correctly. Alright, let's give that a go. So we have here, move AI. Where's our state machine? It's not attached to the same game object. Let's remove this. I'm going to delete the state machine. I'm going to go to the AI and add the state machine here. State machine. All right. Every time we move to this state here, either through code or manually, which is the way I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it manually. It will start moving to the goal. So let's try that out. Right now we're in the crawl state. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't. Luckily, we put in the error code because it didn't find the move AI script. Type it in wrong. Let's have a look. If equals null. If it equals null, right? Let's go back. All right, let's have a look. All right, sweet. Let's go to another, right? See, we enter crawl state, we exit crawl state, we enter another. Let's go to move. It didn't like it crashed my Unity. What's happening? Oops, state. Oh, state is another. Equals move. That should be changed to move. That still should not have crashed it. Shut down Unity, open up again. That out of the way. All right. I'm gonna put a breakpoint here, attach it to see what's going on. Let's go back into here, press play, go to our AI. Oh, we might have to, yeah, we have to reset it up because we crashed. Attach the state machine. I'm just going to set it to move straight away. Press play, see what happens. While equals move it. Didn't like it. So what's going on? One of these are not set up properly. Probably this destination. Let's have a look. AI. Now we have one. Let's put a breakpoint here, see what's going on. Try it again. Agent is null. I'm gonna find navmesh agent. That's why we should add in the debug.log here, so we can easily figure out these problems. If agent equals null, agent is not attached to move AI. So yeah, if this was, that would be a lot easier to debug. But let's have a look what's happening. Agent is null. Why? Agent is navmesh agent. It's here. Definitely attached. It's not complaining about it. There he goes. Okay. I think Unity was just, I don't know what I changed there. But anyways, it's working now. And if I go close open up again, right? So to recap, if we're in the move state, it's going to move the AI. Any other state, it's going to do some other things, right? So keep an eye on the console. We're in the crawl state. If I go to walk state, because change state is ticked, it goes from, we entered the crawl, we exit the crawl state, enter the walk state, and because it's not ticked, it left it. Remember we talked about the boolean that we changed, these booleans here. No, these ones here. Right. If I have this ticked, it goes to the walk state. If I untick it, it goes to the crawl state. They kind of, you can see kind of like here, it moves to each other depending on if this is ticked or not. This only works in the crawl and walk state. If I go to another state, then I do this, nothing happens because it's a completely different state. We're using this instead. And if I move to the move state, it starts moving. If I change it to another state, it will. Okay, so because the destination is still set, then it will keep moving. If you want to change that, if we want to remove that destination, we can go in the move state. When we leave the state, we say we would set the destination to null. So let's just say instead of current destination, just put stop to vector to, can I do it to null? Let's do it to agent dot transform dot position to itself. We'll just move it to itself. That's how we stop it. So if we do stop here instead, when we exit the state, we'll stop moving the player. Let's give it a go. We move, and if I leave the state, it will stop it. There you go. If I go to crawl, it goes to crawl state. If I go to move, it'll start moving again. If I leave the state, it stops. Go back to move, it starts moving again. So depending on the state, it'll do different functions. Yep, and that's it. Hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, just email me. And that's it. And if you want to write down the code, not only the code's on Moodle, but you can pause, go back and pause, and then write down any code that I've done or have changed.